Good evening, everyone, and welcome here to Trois Rivieres for round 11 of the schedule for 2020. And this race weekend has been insane. The front row consists of an all-Canadian front row here in Canada. The fans have gone wild for driver intros. Jeff James won the pole award alongside Kyle Collins 2 years in a row. A Canadian driver sits atop the pole for today's race, and this ought to be an exciting one. Some road ringers have shown out here in this very tight course here in Trois Rivieres in Canada. It is so difficult to pass here for this race. Qualifying was so important, and it's going to prove to be so again. Like we mentioned, passing, not an easy task to do on this racetrack. You can slip up. It's so difficult to get around this racetrack and not make a mistake. One little mistake, you're into the tire barrier, you're into the wall, and your race is done. However, a lot of these drivers tackled this racetrack for the first time last year, and many of them are coming in this race knowing how this track is now and has a little more experience under their belt. So I wouldn't expect to see that many drivers mess up, but you just never know under these circumstances. With an all-Canadian front row, the pressure is on these two drivers of Jeff James and Kyle Collins to deliver this afternoon. However, you have some drivers further behind them, like Dylan Schwellenberg, Bobby Jones, Zachary Fitzwater, Matthew Rodriguez. There's Curtis, and even Demax is in the top 10. All of these drivers know how to get it done on a road course. Can they get it done today? Qualifying was super important. The top 10 are sitting pretty for today's race. Let's get down to the start of this race. Entering the summer stretch of races now, with 10 races down, 20 to go. And this will start deciding who is going to contend for the 2020 championship. We have Demax and Martin so close, and you have many other drivers that are about over a race behind, needing to cut into that gap. But today, right now, these fans are focused on those two drivers on the front row, hoping one of them can fight it out for the win. Collins and James, they haven't won in a while, and they are in a great position. Qualifying was so important. This race is going to be won very much on the first few laps because it's so tough to pass. You need to make your move now. The green is out, and we are racing. Man, Kyle Collins really struggled there. Dylan Schwellenberg has moved his way up to second. Jeff James has gotten a great jump on this early going. Dylan Schwellenberg slots his way to second. Collins slides. He's there in third. Bobby Jones hard to the wall. Jones slid in the wall, but that might be minimal damage. He's going to try and cut up in front of Dejon Weeks. Weeks did not want to get held up behind the 98. Jeffrey Lynn, James Shelley, they're boxed in behind Bobby Jones. Jones really slowing them up. Luke Martin's there in the 0 trying to plow his way past the 98. Bobby Jones really slow there in the early going. Here comes Dom Capps trying to make a move on the outside for ninth place on Jesse Tanner. Matthew Rodriguez trying to pass Ryan Acosta trying to pass Matthew Rodriguez. Zachary Fitzwater's up to fourth. Collins down to third. Schwellenberg, who has had a miserable run of races for Yant Motorsports in the last few weeks, he is up to second place. Jeff James, though, leads lap one. Dom Capps trying to come back at Jesse Turner to the inside. What an impressive move by Capps to make that move on a Turner Performance driver. This 16, like we documented, has been on a steady progression. Back up the field, and the blown engine. That is the Yant Motorsports Ford of Dejon Weeks, and out of the race. Dejon Weeks, earlier this week, he announced that he will be parting ways with Yant Motorsports after the summer break for after a full-time deal to run select races for other race teams and preparing for the 2021 season. And Weeks, this season here for Yant Motorsports and team has been so sour, and Weeks has got to be very upset. He's out of the race 2 laps in. Turner and Capps continue to do battle, though, but Turner is going to come out ahead. James Shelley's going to try and take advantage of Cody Lamas and try and eke out ahead of him. But this is a battle for the 11th position. Shelley's going to get that one done. And further back, Jeffrey Lynn, I've seen Chris Dodd. They were racing for the final position there. But, wow. Unbelievable. Dejon Weeks is out of the race already on lap 3. He has just had no luck this season. Jeff James, though, leads over Dylan Schwellenberg, Kyle Collins, Fitzwater, Acosta, Rodriguez, Curtis, Turner, Caps, and Dylan Young, the top 10. Oh, problems! James Silverfox, he is spun in front of Ryan Griffin. That's another driver that has had no luck this season. But Silverfox got nose to the wall. Here it is, James Silverfox had a great run up the inside on Chris Dodd. Tried to clear himself, but Dodd was still there. And hard in the wall, they both go. And Ryan Griffin looks like he didn't get that much damage, even though he was nosed right in the side of the 77. However, Kyle Collins is closing on Dylan Schwellenberg, trying to make this move around the outside. Schwellenberg's going to try and pinch him on the high side. Schwellenberg in the 88 Ford trying to hang on to second place, but Kyle Collins has got a very fast Dodge Challenger. And round the outside, trying to get the preferred groove up in the final few corners. And Collins trying to make a pass. He might have her done. And yes, he will. Schwellenberg not wanting to bow down, not wanting to fight. Not wanting to give up on this fight for second place, but Schwellenberg may just have to give it up. And there goes Collins back in a second. We've got a race brewing for fourth place. Here comes Ryan Acosta, gonna try and make a similar move that Kyle Collins did on Dylan Schwellenberg, trying to go around the outside on Zachary Fitzwater. He's gonna have to send it on the outside here. The tire barrier sticks out very badly there. So you have to make sure you don't overdrive it and clip that tire barrier. Some drivers have done that. And Acosta trying to stay even with Fitzwater. And down this front straightaway for fourth place, Zachary Fitzwater is one of many drivers up here that's trying to break a long winless streak. But Acosta is going to clear the 22 Toyota, trying to stay ahead. Fitzwater trying to fight back. Here he comes the inside. Fitzwater. Oh, boy, I thought Acosta was going to slide in the tire barrier, but Fitzwater hangs on, and here comes Matthew Rodriguez. That loss of momentum by the 45 has opened the door for Matthew Rodriguez to try and enter the top 5, and here comes the Napa Toyota. Matthew Rodriguez takes 5th place away, but Acosta not going to give it up so easy. As they continue to race for 5th place, Acosta fights back on Matthew Rodriguez. DJ Curtis is there too. Acosta may be in a good position to hang on to 5th place, but Matthew Rodriguez testing the 45 right now, trying to push him to his limits, and Rodriguez inches ahead, but the 45 trying to fight back. You cannot afford to give up positions at all in this racetrack because it's so hard to try and make that move back. And Acosta may have the preferred line to hang on for the 5th anyway, as he's going to hang on for now, as Rodriguez has to slide back behind him. And here comes Turner. Turner has ran up on DJ Curtis. He's to the outside. Is this a good move, though, by Turner to go way wide on DJ Curtis? Not going to happen. That move was very ambitious, but it was not going to happen there. And here comes Dylan Young, trying to get a run on Dime Cats for ninth place. Looks like he'll get this one done. And further back, Luke Martin trying to make a move on Jake Bassinger. That's for 13th place. And Martin, oh, not quite. Jake Bassinger's going to come back. Jeffrey Lynn's got a run on Eric Demax. Demax enters this race as the championship leader. And right now, the only drivers that can overtake him in the points fight for this race is Luke Martin and James Shelley. And for Shelley to overtake him, it would take Demax really having a poor showing. And Martin, if he can get up the run order some, could take the championship lead back. The 0 and the 10 running together in 14th and 15th. This is such a tight race for the lead. Jeff James will be closing in on lap cars soon. Caleb Hoffman, Bobby Jones, they have pitted for repairs of damage. They have bounced off the wall. Jeff James gonna have Kyle Collins, Dylan Schwellenberg, Zachary Fitzwater, Ryan Acosta to deal with. And not to mention Matthew Rodriguez, DJ Curtis, Jesse Turner, they are not that far back to be able to make a charge or make some strategy call to get back in this. So the lead is very much highly contested at the moment. Zachary Fitzwater got a great exit off of turn 3. Down this straight is going to have a good opportunity to try and pull out on Dylan Schwellenberg, but will he make that move? No, he won't, but he's on the back bumper, gave him a little bit of a push down in that corner. but Schwellenberg is going to try and hold his own. Zachary Fitzwater has been on a long dry spell, along with some of these other drivers like Jeff James, Kyle Collins. They haven't won in a while. Here comes Ryan Acosta. He's got a great drive off. And can he get underneath to make this move? And Acosta peeks out ahead, but Fitzwater will have to run off of this corner. But who will come out ahead? The 45 needs to make this pass of Acosta. And Acosta trying to take fourth place away, but it's just so difficult to make a pass here. And Fitzwater has the preferred line and should be able to stay ahead of him. Luke Martin nearly put it in the tire barrier, got so loose, and that car stepped out from underneath of him, and he nearly swung it in the barrier, and that would have put him out of the race, and that would have only gave him 1 point for today's race. And instead of going out of the race, he ends up only losing 2 positions, and one of those positions being to Eric Demax, the championship leader. Martin not wanting to give this away, wanting to get some points back from Eric Demax. Luke Martin wants to get that title lead back, and he stays ahead of Eric Demax. Jesse Turner continuing to work on DJ Curtis, very loose down in turn 3, and that allows Jesse Turner to take that position away, and Turner's up another position. He's up to 7th place. James Shelley nearly did the same thing Luke Martin did. What an incredible save to keep it out of the tire barrier. And that's going to allow Cody Lamas to try and make a move on James Shelley. This is for 11th place. Further up ahead, I'm very impressed with the Domination Racing Dodge of Dom Caps to be able to hang on to the top 10 and be very strong right now to be relatively in the top 10. But James Shelley, that mistake, he was able to hang on and stay in 11th place. Lamas and Bassinger are hunting that 71 down, trying to make a move on him. Eric Demax has made a move on Luke Martin, trying to get this position away. This is for 14th place, and Demax has made it happen. He has passed Luke Martin. Gordon Fisher, while running in 17th place, has blown the engine. And another engine failure of the day. It comes from the Fisher Motorsports team. And Zachary Fitzwater, who is in contention of a win, has got to be a little concerned about his teammate blowing up. The leader of Jeff James is on pit road. Dylan Young is the only other driver that has came on pit road with him, so every other driver has chose to stay out. Jeff James and Dylan Young, they have pitted early. Here comes Kyle Collins, Dylan Schwellenberg, Zachary Fitzwater, Matthew Rodriguez. They chose to stay out, and this is going to be interesting. Can these guys go the rest of the way pitting, because this is lap 23. Going to be interesting to see, because Fitzwater, Rodriguez, they have chose to stay out. Same with Bassinger and Martin. They have chose to go out an extra lap longer. Well, here comes Fitzwater, Rodriguez as well. Bassinger and Martin will be hitting pit road here shortly. There they go. So this will shake up strategy tremendously. Some drivers having fresher tires, some on some older tires. However, this is the race for the lead. Kyle Collins, Dylan Schwellenberg, they are ahead of Jeff James. Jeff James, that strategy did not pay off for him at all. He has lost 3 positions at least a net 3. So where is everyone that stayed out the longest? There's Fitzwater and Rodriguez. Fitzwater trying to get out ahead. Fitzwater side by side with Kyle Collins. Collins gets ahead of Fitzwater. Fitzwater trying to stay ahead of Dylan Schwellenberg. Schwellenberg's going to lose out to Fitzwater. Fitzwater's going to get ahead. Fitzwater's ahead of the 88. And the number 9 of Matthew Rodriguez going to the inside of the 45. So staying out, the overcut has worked to their perfection to at least stay ahead. Jeff James, that hurt him a lot to pit the earliest. Pitting early was not a good call for him. He lost the lead. The race for second here. Oh boy, Fitzwater threw a block. Couldn't quite throw a block good enough. Here comes Schwellenberg. Dylan Schwellenberg trying to take this position back. Dylan Schwellenberg was so close to winning here last year. If it wasn't for Sean Hartwell being able to stretch it all the way on fuel, and Schwellenberg trying to get redemption from a lost win that he was hopeful that he could have grabbed last time out. He takes second place away from Zachary Fitzwater. Zachary Fitzwater nearly threw it in the tires. This was very close. That is about as close as you can get without getting any damage or going out of the race. Zachary Fitzwater hangs onto his race car, but he loses another position to Ryan Acosta. And James Shelley's gonna try. Oh man, I thought that was gonna end in disaster. Shelley's gonna push his way past Jeff James, and Jeff James and crew is gonna be thinking that they threw this one away. A possible win for United MS Racing is gone, really, as James is down to 8th place. Matt Rodriguez trying to get around Zachary Fitzwater. Fitzwater trying to block number 9, but is able to work. Fitzwater's able to stay ahead of Rodriguez for now. Meanwhile, we're halfway in the race, and Kyle Collins has stretched his lead to 3 seconds on Dylan Schwellenberg. Acosta, Fitzwater, Rodriguez top 5, Turner, Shelley, James, Young, and Curtis the top 10, with Dom Caps down to 11th, Cody Lamas, Luke Martin, and Eric Demax doing battle. They have done battle all race, it seems like, but these are the top 2 drivers in the championship standings. Martin slides, and this is going to be Demax that's going to come out on top, and here comes Bassinger going to join the frame as well. That's a race for 13th place. Bassinger's in 15th. Lynn, Rogers, Dodd, Sanford, and Jones. Jones has rebounded a pretty good bit to get back in the top 20. Then it is Sanford, Hoffman, Shrigley, Davidson, Caldwell, Arndt's at 26, Scott, Harple. Oh, Hayden Klein! Klein was running at 29, and he is out. Jeff James trying to claw his way back a couple of positions. He's to the inside of James Shelley, further back for DJ Curtis and Cody Lamas. That's a battle for the 10th position. And further behind, Luke Martin has gotten ahead of Eric Demax. That's for position as well. Demax trying to challenge back. Lamas trying to get to Curtis. And battles all around, really. Jeff James on the inside of James Shelley. That team is going to be very frustrated that they had a chance at a win, slipped through their grasp during a pit strategy call. They lost a lot of track position because of that. And Jeff James is now deep in traffic. James Shelley going to get 7th place back from Jeff James. Dylan Young riding in front of DJ Curtis. Curtis was able to hold off the challenges from his teammate of Cody Lamas. And Jake Bassinger has gotten around Dom Caps, and he is looking to get in this battle for 10th. Flat cars could be a factor for Kyle Collins today. He had a 3-second lead, and Dylan Schwellenberg has been able to cut that lead down significantly because Collins is having troubles getting around the Fitzwater Racing Team car. And Schwellenberg, Acosta, Fitzwater, and Rodriguez, they are closing that gap. And Cody Lamas and Hoffman have nosed into the barrier for pit road. Here it is. Cody Lamas was trying to get to the inside, cut underneath of Caleb Hoffman, and just turned him into the pit wall. And you got to think that might be a little bit on Cody Lamas, but Hoffman was in the way, and Lamas was trying so hard to catch his teammate out and get 10th place away. And that's day over for both drivers. Jesse Tunner has ran down Matthew Rodriguez, and this is a battle for 5th place. Tunner trying to get him on the outside. We've seen many drivers get this run on that straight and make a move to the high side and try and go around on the high side, because if they can hang in right here, right where the pit straight is, if they can be in that line where Jesse Tunner is, they can get the preferred groove to stay alongside and make that pass into turn 1. Jesse Tunner on Matthew Rodriguez. Battle for 5th place. Tunner looks like he's going to get this one away, and looks like he might. Rodriguez is in a good chance to try and send it back underneath of him. He's to the corner panel. He needs to try and stay with him. Not quite, though. Tunner gets 5th place away. Fitzwater trying to get Ryan Acosta. Zachary Fitzwater is moving his way up to 3rd place. That 3-second lead really disappeared very fast. Dylan Schwellenberg is right there, and Kyle Collins continues to struggle with lap cars, cannot find a way around. He bobbles there, trying to make a pass, and here comes Dylan Schwellenberg. Schwellenberg to the inside of Kyle Collins. Tunner to the inside of Ryan Acosta, trying to take that position away, but Schwellenberg is coming to pit road. He clips the pit wall. I don't know how much damage that's going to do to Dylan Schwellenberg, but these guys got to be more aware of that pit wall because they have gotten so close to it and Schwellenberg just skims it. And actually, I have no idea why Dylan Schwellenberg pitted. I have no idea why he pitted, unless he can't make it on fuel. But Dylan Schwellenberg, that was absolutely crazy to me. Why that team would put him down pit road. He's leaving pit road now, but that was an incredible strategy. DJ Curtis did the same thing. So Curtis, he also came down pit road, gave up a top 10 run. We're going to see Kyle Collins is coming to pit road. Collins to pit road, Acosta's to pit road, Rodriguez is to pit road. And Rodriguez was one of those drivers that made it to halfway. So this is very odd calls, very much. And here comes Bassinger. He's also coming down pit road with Luke Martin. So, wow. I figured these guys would just do a one stop, but they're doing two stops. And Zachary Fitzwater is now in the lead, and we expect him to come down pit road this time by. And it should cycle out pit stops. And this should be the final round of pit stops. This is the most crucial pit stop of the day. The final pit stop. Who's going to come out in first? However, Fitzwater and Turner, they didn't pit this time. So they're staying out a lot longer than everybody else. Dylan Young, Dom Caps, Jeffrey Lynn, Eric Demax, Zach Rogers, and a few others have chosen to stay out. Nobody has pitted here. Whoa, nearly contact with Davidson and Arndt. But I'm very surprised with the pit calls that are going on right now. Fitzwater and Turner, if they have to pit again, this has messed them up. Oh, and battle for the lead. Jesse Turner was able to pressure the 22 into a mistake, and Jesse Turner's taking the lead for the first time all day. Still, nobody is coming down pit road of the guys that have stayed out. It is still Turner and Fitzwater, the front two. Third place is Young, Caps, and Lynn. These guys are still staying out. So are they going to try and make it on a one stop? If they are, this is going to be a phenomenal strategy call for them, and it's going to more than likely pay off, as the next guy that has pitted is Kyle Collins. He's ahead of Ryan Acosta. Then Cody Lamas. Lamas actually is a few laps down. He's got the damage like we mentioned. He's still running. I'm surprised. And Matthew Rodriguez is the third driver that has pitted. Then it's Dylan Schwellenberg, who didn't really fare by pitting early. James Shelley. Joseph Shrigley staying out, though. He's in the mix of trying to get a top 10 run today. DJ Curtis getting held up. He's also pitted. However, an engine failure. Another engine failure for Jesse Turner. Jesse Turner is blowing the engine. And Turner, for 2 weeks in a row, that race team has blown an engine. And a tough break for Jesse Turner. A possible chance at a win. Gone. Dylan Young's on pit road. He was in third place. So this is going to change things tremendously if these guys are going to have to pit or not. Dylan Young's the only driver that had been staying out that is on pit road. Meanwhile, with 8 laps to go, there's still guys that are left to pit, but they are slowly pitting. Zachary Fitzwater is still out there. He's in the lead. Second place is Dom Caps. Then Jeffrey Lynn in third. Eric Demax in fourth. Zach Rogers is in fifth. Sixth place is Kyle Collins. Collins ahead of Ryan Acosta right now. If things cycle out, it'll be a battle between the 86 and the 45. Then further back, Matthew Rodriguez is in 8th. Ninth is Dylan Schwellenberg, and 10th is James Shelley. Joseph Shrigley, a great run for Monster Energy Racing in his home country. In 11th place with DJ Curtis, there's Dylan Young. He has cycled back into 13th place ahead of Chris Dodd and Luke Martin. However, the leaders are on pit road. The leaders are on pit road. Dom Caps is on pit road with Eric Demax as well. But Matthew Rodriguez stays out again. And there goes the 86 and the 45. Jeffrey Lynn is still out there. So Jeffrey Lynn is still out there in the 76 along with Zachary Fitzwater. And problems for Eric Demax, maybe. He has been on pit road for a long time. They're having problems under the 10 car there. They are checking under the hood of the 10 car. Something is amiss, and Zachary Fitzwater's on pit road. Jeffrey Lynn is as well. So this is going to allow a big battle for the lead between Ryan Acosta and Kyle Collins as they come back to the line. Collins not wanting to give this spot away. This is for the potential lead of the race this afternoon. The 86 in this 45. Fitzwater could be in a good position here. Fresher tires. He's going to come out right behind these guys. Collins not wanting to lose the lead. Trying to hang on. It's been 212 races for Kyle Collins since he last won his one and only race. And Acosta's out. Acosta is spun into the tire barrier. These guys were battling hard for the win. This was between the both of them, and Acosta and Collins. Collins had the nose out ahead, but Acosta had to do all he could to still stay in it, and he just wheel hops into turn 3, loses the car into the tires. He's going to keep on going, but a chance of a win is gone, and Acosta, he is high in the championship standings, so he needs to try and make the most of the day. But it looks like this could be it. His teammate's out of it, though. An engine failure. Looks like Dodd has wrecked or something. And a similar issue to Acosta. Dodd spun in the tire barrier. So both Allen Family Racing Team guys and Hoffman again in the barrier. This has not been a good day for Hoffman. Not a good season at all for Hoffman. But Dodd is going to try and limp it back to pit road as we close in on 5 laps remaining. Kyle Collins is hoping to close down a 212 winless streak. And there's the 10 of Eric Demax. Demax is all the way down in 32nd position. Whatever issue he has had, it took him 2 laps under green conditions to try and fix that 10 car. And Eric Demax, oh man, that's going to be a big blow to him. Eric Demax is going to lose the championship lead, and Luke Martin is probably going to come out with the championship lead if he can stay in it. Eric Demax, or not Eric Demax, but James Shelley looked like he almost hit the barrier there, and it's going to allow Dylan Schwellenberg to try and battle him for 5th place. DJ Curtis, another solid day for him in 7th. 8th place is Jeffrey Land. Dylan Young gonna possibly have a good solid day considering the season he has had. He's there in 9th. And Luke Martin trying to get, yet again, another top 10 run. Dom Katz in 11th. He's had a phenomenal race ahead of Zach Rogers. And what could have been for Jeff James in that 34 team in 13th place right now. It's pretty amazing that Ryan Acosta is still out there running. He's trying to get the most points as possible in that 45. Trying to finish as high as he can. But he is losing positions left and right. And Acosta trying to defend with all his might, but here comes Schwellenberg around the outside, nearly in the barrier, but that's going to allow DJ Curtis to enter the frame, and here comes Curtis getting 6th place away, and possibly a top 5 run. He's on the back bumper of the 45, and Acosta is so slow, and that handling on the 45 is gone after hitting the tire barrier, but he's trying to hang on out there. 2 laps to go for Kyle Collins and a victory at home here in Canada. He had to race super hard with Ryan Acosta, and Acosta just was racing so hard with Collins, threw it in the barrier, and Collins, whoa, that was nearly disastrous. And here comes Fitzwater. Eric Demax in that car going by, but Zachary Fitzwater, he's also on the winless streak. He's trying to close this gap. He's trying to get his first win for Fisher Motorsports. Collins has never won in the modern era. He has been all the way back since season 17, and Fitzwater is there. Oh boy, he's got to run too. He's trying to position himself for a great pass on the final lap. Both drivers are bumper to bumper. The 86 just has to close out this final lap here. Coming to the white flag. The fans jumping up and down, cheering for this man, the 86 of Kyle Collins, to win for the first time in 212 races. But all the Aussies down under watching this one. Fitzwater, the 22, right on his back bumper. It's been a long dry spell for him as well. Somebody is going to break a winless streak. Who is it going to be? Rodriguez is closing, but he is just too far behind. This final corner, turn 3, has been a lot of drivers' Achilles heels, and Demax really slides there. But Collins is able to get ahead of the 10, and Fitzwater really needs to clear Eric Demax if he wants to have any chance at a victory today. But Fitzwater does not have the does not have the momentum to get by the 10 car. A winless streak is going to have to hold for Zachary Fitzwater. The fans, if only you could hear them right now. Kyle Collins, they were so loud. They were frenzied on pole day when Jeff James and Kyle Collins put it on the front row. And Collins is going to deliver. Coming to the final corner. Kyle Collins at Trois Rivieres is going to break a 212 race winless streak at home. Kyle Collins wins a Sony Cup Series race again. Collins wins for Horizon Group, their second win of the season. And Collins beats Zachary Fitzwater. And then it's Matthew Rodriguez back in third. A good race for him. James Shelley, another good points day in fourth. DJ Curtis getting fifth. Dylan Schwellenberg in sixth. Jeffrey Lynn in seventh. Dylan Young, 8th. Luke Martin, another top 10. And a last lap pass on Ryan Acosta. Dom Caps gets a top 10 run for Domination Racing, which will soon be Martin Motorsports yet again. Great run for that team. But farther up, the crowd is going wild. Kyle Collins wins at Trois Rivieres in Canada and hits the pit wall for good measure. But it is the end of the race, and Kyle Collins is victorious for his second career Sony Cup Series win, and it comes a long way out. 212 races ago. What a drive by Kyle Collins. Nearly threw it away there at the very end, but that was a phenomenal race. Like, I loved watching Collins and even Ryan Acosta do battle there. And Acosta fell outside the top 10 on the last lap, but that race between them, they knew it was on, and they were side by side for the lead. And it was Acosta in the tire barrier. Collins nearly put it in the tire barrier, but wow. Kyle Collins wins, and Horizon Group gets their second win of the season. Let's get to our finishing results and standings after round 11.